Welcome back, everyone. We have some news to get into, and going to be looking at the markets from an unemotional perspective, which will give you guys the best chance at being successful in this type of market. So we're looking at the news real quick. SpaceX bought Bitcoin. Pretty interesting, right? SpaceX did just buy Bitcoin. Let's go back. Right, we saw Busta Rhymes.
Welcome back, everyone.
Okay, he bought Bitcoin. Is that a top signal? I don't know.
Welcome back,
Busta
everyone.
Rhymes bought some Bitcoin on the dip. Good for him. Cardano preparing for web mobile integrations. That's pretty cool. I really do like how JP Morgan lets retail wealth clients access to Grayscale's products. This is looking a little bit bullish, right? We have a bullish sort of news day, and that's good for the bulls. Good for the bulls. We're gonna get into some data here. Short liquidations. If we look at short Cardano preparing for web. Got some echoing. We got some echoing. It's taken care of. Sorry about that. But if we go to the short liquidations, we see that. Sorry. Let me see. Is it good? There we go. Sorry about that. If we go to the short liquidations, we see that we have had quite the liquidation over the past few days, and longs still haven't been liquidated yet. I mean, they were liquidated, just a couple days ago, but nothing too significant. So shorts have built up quite a large liquidation here. And something interesting to point out is, let me full screen this, is if we look at the futures open interest on aggregated exchanges, every single exchange, we notice, here, I don't think, we notice that we're building up on open interest, okay? We've been building up on open interest, meaning that there's a lot of longs and a lot of shorts, a lot of open interest that are up right now. So it's kind of, important to realize, look at this drop that we had last time when we did get to some sort of high point. But I do think that we're probably going to see, some sort of dip. We've just been building on that. Maybe they'll have a fake out to the downside and to the upside. There'll be some fun times. Important to take that into consideration, that we're kind of building up on that. We could have some volatile move here in the near future. BTC estimated leverage ratio, if you guys look at this. Yeah, some bad data there. I don't think that's totally correct. If it is, wow. But we have the inflow of exchanges kind of topping out right here. As you guys can see, over the past 3 days, we have had a lot of inflow. That does look quite well. But at the same time, we have to take into consideration. The charts. And what are the charts showing us right now? I took off all the indicators just so we can look at the support and the resistance levels. I did this for the fact to show you, what type of support and resistance we're looking at. And what we see here is, right, this is a range, okay? This is a range right here. This is, a support and a resistance. This is the range we were in. We broke out. We went to the upside. We made a little bit of a range there. We broke out, right? And what I'm noticing with this is we don't have too much more levels to go through on the downside until we have this dip to, it's showing around $20,000. We don't really have a support or resistance in this range. Every single time we've had a dip to the downside, we've recovered some sort of level. Yes, we have this little range right here, but besides the point, we've had, some sort of, reoccurring pattern. And this is showing, if we do take a dip, we'd still have some sort of supports in here that we might hang on to. But if it is bad enough, this is really the historical supports that we have here. This is the range that we saw. Possibly we can go down there. It's just it's just the nearest kind of support on the 4-hour. If we go to Bitcoin though, okay, if we go to Bitcoin back in 2018, 2017, it was a lot different of a bull run. Okay, a lot different in the sense of, you guys see that we have one range, we have two range, we have three, we have four ranges, and then we have this large catastrophic dip, rather than what we see here, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Five ranges before we get to the top. We still have that huge amount of liquidity that was pumped into the market, but nothing really too significant like we had in 2018. And going down to $20,000 would only be a 3x from all-time highs, while Bitcoin went down around 5x from all-time highs since 2018. Just throwing that out there. It's a different type of market, but it's just cool to see that we ranged and we had a little bit different type of a cycle. But let's get into the charts. Okay, what are the charts showing us? What do we see? Why do we need volume? And the fact is, without volume, we're going to have a little bit of a struggle here. And that's due to the fact of, we're going to look at this completely unemotional, right? We don't care if there's bullish news out because want to know what happened here, okay? We got emotional. Want to know what happened here? We got emotional, right? We thought price was going to go down to the equator. We got price up here. You know, we thought price was going to go to the moon. Price down here, we got scared. Emotions. They're everywhere in crypto. You guys can see. How many of you guys thought we were bouncing all the way up to 50, 60K? That was the sentiment, right? That was the sentiment when we were at these levels. This is what, you know, the market does to you. Plays games with your psychology. It really tries to, you know, take advantage of your human brain and manipulate it in a sense of, you know, this was a lot of manipulation. You know, everyone bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. And this is just kind of the advantage that, you know, crypto has over us. And, you know, because it's such a volatile asset, it can, you know, really pull those sorts of things off. But besides the point, if we do look at, you know, kind of the volatility that we've had, when we do have these runs, you know, we get bullish when we're up here. A lot of people are bullish. We see a lot of things that are out on the news that are bullish. And then we have a pullback. And what I see happening in the charts within the next, I would say, few days is some sort of head and shoulders pattern. And I do believe that, you know, we could have the neckline of this pattern. We could have the neckline, you know, right around this area at this 31,900. But I think it's more, you know, it's more, I would say more predictable for us to go a little bit above this trend line. Everyone thinks we're breaking out. Maybe they do send us up to here to 34,400. But they're definitely going to bring us down if they do, as this is a pretty volatile movement. Every time we have volatile movements, they get us emotional. They play with your brains, and then they bring you down. Until we have a clear, you know, definite volumes coming into the market, we're going up. I wouldn't count on it. Yeah, volumes kind of went up here, but, you know, look at all the times that we've reached this 29K level. We've had the lowest volume that we have had. You know, we've reached that level. Don't think that volume's high. Don't let, you know, these people bamboozle you. Because volume is definitely not high from the level that we're at right now. This looks high, right? But in reality, it's not too high considering the fact that, you know, if we go back to the past zones, you know, there was more buying pressure here. With that being said, we are kind of slowing down on the 1 hour charts with volume up here. We did have that nice leg up, though. We broke through a little bit of a resistance zone that we were keeping, and we made it, you know, to this liquidity zone. We took some liquidity from this area right here. Next move would be around this 33K. And if we are able to break above that 33K zone, you know, next stop's 33,200. And then 33,200 is really important because not too much, you know, not too much resistance. We could easily make it to the 34,400 zone. And this is where I'm looking at seeing that head and shoulders pattern kind of play out. It could always happen before if we have, you know, a really bearish kind of candlestick, a fuck you candlestick where it's, you know, pretty large engulfing candle breaks through, you know, some sort of support zone. I will be entering some shorts as of right now, not in the market currently, as you guys have to be patient. You know, having cash always in the market as a trader is one of the stupidest things you can do. Because you can't, you know, you have to wait for your setup to happen. And when your setup does happen, you know, you guys get into a trade. And it's as simple as that. You have guidelines, you have stop losses, whatever it might be. Stop losses would just be once we do reach higher liquidity zones. And I do get confirmation with price action that I will be entering. You know, I'm always waiting for price action. I'm always waiting for some sort of confirmation to get into trades, as it's not smart. But yeah, those are the zones. Okay. We have the, for the mobile users that can't read this, it's okay. We have the 32,900 zone, which if we do break through this 32,500, we're most likely gonna make our way up towards there. So that's not that large of a move, but we do have a lot of altcoins, especially AXS, that we'll go into that are pumping right now. And I will be going over something that, you know, a lot of you guys will find pretty interesting here with this indicator. But on the pivots, show you guys, take a lot of these off because this looks confusing. Number of pivots, so all the way back to like But, right, so those are the zones on the upside. If we break through this 33K zone, I would expect a nice large movement. We have to break above 33,300, but, that's a nice $1,000 movement if we do break above that. But we're not going to talk about it until we see volume support our conclusion, because us talking about volume right here, it's not the most bullish volume, as you guys can see. Look at when we were down at this bottom area, okay? How do head and shoulders patterns play out? So the bottom, okay, you guys see this bottom right here? Look at how the volume was, okay? We had a volume like this, all right? When we're up here, when we're up in these levels, right? Look how the volume was, right? It's almost around the same level. I know I drew that wrong, but you need volume for confirmation on any single one of your trades. You need low volume to see a reversal or a continuation of a pattern. Like up here, you see how we have low volume, right? We have low volume, strong volume, low volume, strong volume, a little bit of low volume right here at the shoulder, and then another push back up to recover it. And, they're not going to have, they really could have a continuation pattern back to the downside. But I think, that's a little bit ridiculous for them to do that when there is some sort of liquidity. I know there's going to be liquidity that they can tap into, but them sending price, them just the market going up in general, we're not talking about them. We need to be careful to, presume that they're going to send it up higher, because why would you send it up to 35, 36K? You know the amount of people that have liquidity stuck up there, all the grayscalers, all the people. It's sad, right? But at the same time, something that we do have to take into consideration, that it is a lot of liquidity that is trapped up there, a lot of people waiting to sell. So they wouldn't make much profits besides the crypto quant liquidations on the shorts. Like I said, that Bitcoin guy, George, called it out. George always calls it out. Great job, George. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for George. Beautiful guy, and we have to make sure to understand. He said, there was this guy who put, $3 billion or whatever through a non-OTC, non-over-the-counter order to short the market. Got some percent from it, and I'm sure he just switched it right over to a long once we did hit this sort of demand zone down here. Smart guy, whoever did that. It's important to notice, though, that we need to break through this area in order to break out. On the non-wicking candles, it does look like we could have a little bit of a reversal, but like I said, this is crypto. This is extremely, extremely, volatile. That's why you need to wait for price action. You need to wait for market structure to really show itself before entering. Yep. So let me pull this back over. Yeah, we'll go through some coins here. Let me throw up Bookmap real quick. You guys see that? Good. Let me move this over a little bit. So when we're looking at good old Bookmap, pull this back over a little bit. Okay, so when we're looking at Bookmap, let me throw on these settings real quick. We're looking at where are the buy and the sell orders currently at as of right now. Throw this to 0, 4. All right, so we're looking at this at the longer time frames, and you have to take into consideration that, these levels are, kind of significant for the day, for the time being. Let me decrease that a little bit, but we still have this 31K zone down here, and we have some selling pressure up at this 32,900 zone. And if you're looking at this in a certain way, you can kind of see, that we're kind of building up some sort of range, where this is the bottom of the range, this is at the top of the range. As of right now, you could always switch over orders. This is in the stock market. But, if we do reach, this 32,900, 32,800 level, we could always see some sort of push to the downside, as, we're kind of nearing the top of the range, and normally they'll pile on shorts when that does happen. When you see these zones decrease, we'll see them pile down shorts. This is completely free, guys, by the way, for most of this data that you can get on Bookmap. But I do have the VWAP connected as well, and as of short-term price action, we are seeing a little retest on the, what am I on? I'm on the 60-minute theme. Go to the 60-minute. But on the 60-minute, retesting VWAP. VWAP's a really important indicator for any of you that haven't been here. VWAP is, one of my favorites because it's really showing where the market moves when we do have these volatile days. You set it on the daily time frame, you have it reset every day. But as of right now, we're retesting VWAP, and if we can't hold above VWAP, we do have the selling kind of power above us. I do expect a little bit of a retracement downwards, not too much lower. This is just very short-term trades, but I'm trying to get you guys a little bit familiar with Bookmap. Pretty cool how much data you can get for free through Bookmap. Yeah, but as you guys can see back here, look at all the buying power right here. Look at all the buying power. Look at all the whales. This did not look natural when I was watching this live. Did not look natural. When we did have, that dip to around this 3,100 and you see all this buying pressure down there, it kind of gives you some sort of indicator of, the whales are helping Bitcoin go up scot-free. This isn't retail, not retail. But yeah, for the most part, kind of nearing the top of the range. If we do break out of this level, I would expect, larger price to come. Maybe, we do get to that 34K level, but it's going to take a lot of push and a lot of power to really, get up to those levels, as we are trying to take some liquidity out of this kind of larger zone. It's not too large, but all right. So Ethereum, what is Ethereum doing? Has anyone been looking at Ethereum? All right, so what do we see with Ethereum? Let me go on TradingView first. Come back to that. All right, so with Ethereum right now, we see that we have, this large push. I wanted to talk about this Ethereum push. Okay? You guys might be wondering, right? Bitcoin pumped, and in reality, we saw that, look at Ethereum, up 19%. We have people talking about the decoupling again. That's kind of funny that we see that, because just the other day, Ethereum was at such low levels that people disregarded it as a human being, and it was, directly abused. You will see emotions play over everyone. Just don't let them get the best of you. I'm loading up something real quick, but yeah, don't let them get the best of you. Just play these demands, these supply zones, and trade off of your zones. Don't worry what other people are saying. Just worry about what's on the charts. And we are nearing, kind of the top of this range. And if we break through this, we're going to be nearing, the 2100 level. And we'll form this new range with Ethereum, which is around, this 2043 level, all the way up here to this 21 level. It's just going to kind of be impressive to see Ethereum if it can break out above this, because I bet volatility will slow down for Ethereum. As when Bitcoin volatility slows down, I can guarantee you Ethereum's will. And I would look for another push back down to this pivotal point if we do want to make that move higher, or at least down to this, 1960, 1970 zone. It's just, price right here does not look too well. We need to see Bitcoin kind of make that push to the upside, as they're kind of just showing the same thing, right? What did Bitcoin do? Did it do 20% off the bottom? No, it only did 10%. It's an altcoin, guys. Let me load this up for you guys. But yeah, so BTC, nice. Not really the most healthy push, as we talked about. We didn't really go up too much, to be completely honest. And let me pull up this little indicator here for you guys. Look at, we broke through the 50 MA. What indicator is this called? This is called OBV. It's calculating volume. Volume picked up. We broke out. I was also going to show you another one, but figured that this one's really important in the long term of things, as you guys need to focus on volume. Volume is everything. Look at what happens when we have these spikes in a volume in a downtrend. Okay, we are in a downtrend. It's not you break out of volume in a downtrend and you just go into infinity, which is what a lot of people are suggesting. It's not like it's not like there's this influx of money already in crypto. It's not like people get stimulus checks when trend line gets broken. Okay, with the whole crypto in general with volume. So when we're looking at volume, we normally see let's go for example this. Like look at, yeah, we broke out a trend. Did we have that large of a push? Not really. For the most part, that's a nice trend line there, huh? But yeah, you guys got to understand that volume is will break out, will come back down, but this kind of signifies that we're a little bit overbought. This is just using the 50 MA and OBV. It's a very good indicator. I hope you guys take this into consideration. But when we do see prices get to around this level, we do see some sort of retracement, as this is fairly sharp. The higher it goes, normally the higher it's going to fall. The more it consolidates, the larger we fall, as you guys can see. Let's go here, larger refall, right? This is kind of a large spike, then a consolidation, and then a fall. Large consolidation, large fall, spikiness, choppiness, right? Consolidation, consolidation, fall. And as of right now, we broke out. Nothing too significant, except, even if we break a trend line, probably not going to have that much of a push. If we do dip below the 50 after we have these volatile pushes, though, we always see some sort of bad turn to the downside. That's just the way she. And let me throw up Ethereum on Bookmap. So we were talking about those important levels for Ethereum. All right, here we go. So what do we see with Ethereum on the charts currently? Well, let's turn this up, cut off a little bit off. You guys might think this chart is stupid. It looks dumb, but I'm telling you right now, this chart does help a lot determining where people are buying and where people are selling, which is actually what interpretates price. Want to know what doesn't interpretate price? Any sort of article. Any sort of article does not do the same thing as actual buy and actual sell orders. That's just how the world works, right? You could have I don't know, explain it too, but yeah, Ethereum too looks like it's nearing the top of the zone. If it does break through, this is a buy zone down here around this 2000 level. Yeah, this $2,000 level, but kind of nearing some sort of top here, just short term. But I want to see price make its way above. I don't have VWAP on this. I could add it real quick. Yeah, but I believe that we are a little bit below the VWAP right now. We're testing it as some sort of resistance. So could have a nice little breakdown if we aren't able to push above this 22 level. That's just short term. Who cares, right? We care about the long term here. Just showing you price action. How this actually works and what happens with stuff like this. Oh geez, guys. Oh geez. What happened? Why don't you guys buy the dip with AXS, right? Why don't you guys buy the dip? This is something that you see with altcoins. Is you see this sort of I can't say that word on YouTube, but just not the smartest sort of decisions that will incur from these sort of altcoin pushes, right? One altcoin pushes, goes up 75% just randomly. Just because it had this hype before. Where did it happen? Kind of at an irrelevant level. Not really support or resistance there. We broke through the pivot point, guys, and we yeah, that's why we pushed there. No, we didn't. But yeah, for the most part, with this level that we broke, loading, great. But yeah, with AXS, this is gonna come down. Obviously, it's not gonna keep on pumping. I would look, for some higher levels now. We need to see, a good sign of a reversal on this to really get into it. I mean, who's bullish on AXS at this price over the next month? Because if you are, you better be hoping for some Elon tweets. By the way, sorry about last video. I said that Elon Musk owned more Dogecoin. I did not watch the interview. That's because I was focusing on the charts. I forgive. I tried to get some intel. I misinterpreted it. But Elon Musk does not more Dogecoin, Bitcoin. I was bullish on Bitcoin or Dogecoin because of that. I misinterpreted it. That's funny. But at the same time, right? Is this the next Dogecoin? No, it's not. And it's going to break down. When you have these violent pushes, what happens, guys? What happens? Mountain. Right? If you're just careful and you wait for, what are you guys waiting for? How the hell do you know this is a goddamn top? All right, well, you guys see how we don't have really too much engulfing candles. We don't have any doji candles really here. And, price is just Yeah, it's here was a reversal right here. Here's a little bit of an engulfing, but not a fully engulfing underneath some sort of support level, as we do have support up here. Oop, there we go. All right, so I would know to get into this based off of this candle right here. And I wouldn't get into it right away. I'd always wait for a retest of some sorts. But I would obviously set a stop loss pretty conservatively. But, you know, you got to give your stop loss some room when you're trading these volatile altcoins. When you're trading these shit coins, you know, sometimes you can get shit in your eye and, you know, it stinks. But you got to understand that it is worth it. You know, it is worth it. If you are going about it the right way. If you guys are new to trading, I would suggest to never, ever trade these coins, as you don't know proper risk management, you don't know stop losses, and to just continue to hold until then, as you will definitely be a lot more successful with that, as I will be releasing this book here, actually getting edited, but probably be out, I would say, tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to try and finish it tonight. I'm working on it 3 or 4 hours today, been working on it hard. That I was going to be able to release it, but we'll see about tonight. I'll try. I'll post it on Twitter, Donkey Finance. But we have to understand that we need to see some sort of reversal sign where we're seeing like a lot of volatility, a lot of sort of engulfing candles. And we do see some dojis right here too, which are candles that have almost the same open and close price with large wicks to the upside and downside. And, you know, we didn't see that here. 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 We kind of saw that there, but not the largest volatility. Yeah, you got faked out there. Okay. You know, not here. We didn't really see any dojis, but, you know, up here we did. And, you know, what did we see? We saw a retest with another sort of bearish candle. How do we know this candle is bearish? Look at the selling pressure. Okay, look at the selling pressure. Does that look healthy to you? No, it doesn't. You know, that's people pushing down the price. That's, you know, bears pushing down the price, shooting this to the ground. And I guarantee you what's happening right now is some whales are taking advantage of some fish. And the whales are eating the fish because, as we can tell on Crypto Quant, we have a lot of apes still aping into the market right now. We are going up on open interest. How much exactly? Let's see. Jeez, look at that. Large liquidations. This is all from the shitcoin gambling. You guys are gambling with good TA on shitcoins. You're trading the tops and the bottoms of ranges on market structure and confirmation and proper risk management, risk for board. You do have a good chance of coming out alive and successful, but if you're new, you don't. Okay, 96% of you lose. You got to practice. But at the same standpoint, yeah, it's just I need to tell you guys that I don't want to see anyone new get liquidated when they have the best opportunity, you know, in front of you. You don't want to have that happen. We do still see some sort of inverse head and shoulders here. Right, here's the head. This doesn't look healthy. But yeah, like I said, this thing's gonna die off at some point. Keep your eye on it. Okay, keep your eye on it. We'll be going over it. I am looking for, like I said, some confirmation. I need to see Bitcoin looking a little bit more bearish. Okay, I want to see Bitcoin have a little bit of a price move, but I know, okay, I know that what's gonna happen with these bulls or with these whales when they do what they'll do is they'll send up these large candles to liquidate you guys out on leverage. It's evil. It's evil what they do, but it's indeed very effective. For example, you guys all remember this whale here. I don't know how this is illegal, as this really shouldn't be legal at all, but you know, it's crypto, guys. It's crypto. You guys notice this little wick right here. Imagine if you're leverage trading this without a stop loss. Boom, your entire account is gone. It's liquidated because you traded 100% of your account on a short, and they send it up 73%. Not looking good. Okay, looking good. But yeah, I just want you to understand how important it is to have risk, you know, risk management. And even if you're holding long term, risk management, you know, you're still not out of the boat unless you want to, you know, be at risk, which is not the best thing. All right, so start Neo. I haven't looked at Neo in a while, and I'm gonna come back to AX. It is showing something a little bit important. I'm an AXS professional. Kidding, obviously. But yeah, this is just a little bit of a bounce off of some random level. I guess you could consider this. Let's take off the wicks. We should be taking off wicks if we're going to draw our support and resistance levels and our demand and supply levels. Well, we should, dropping off the wicks, as it's kind of irrelevant not to do it because for price closed. A lot more success with it. Go to the box guys. First bearish candle, we could see price come up to around, I would say, this 3061 level, but we do have a lot of downwards candles that we could correct. I would say 28 around this pivot point right here wouldn't be bad. Hey guys, look at what this did off the pivot point. Is this random? I don't know, guys. Go look at a bunch of cryptos. Look at what happens around pivot points, or during pivot points. It's pretty useful if you guys understand price action and you understand how the market works. It is useful. But that being said, yeah, we do have a little bit of a support line here. But if we do break through that, I would expect us to kind of come down to this 28-ish level. Nice little run up though. Do have that. But yeah, kind of already had the pump. Showing some resistance here, and there's a lot of zones that it would have to take out. Not sure how much volatility NEO has. Haven't even looked at it today, to be completely honest with you. All right, but yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to come into the Discord server, linked in the description, or someone can go a link there. I believe it's linked to my description. Yeah, we go over Bookmap a lot. You guys are into Bookmap, into it, completely free. A little bit. Takes a little bit to learn. There's dots, okay? These are buys and sells. But what do we see with AXS right now? Well, I look at this one constantly because, like I said, it's a complete shit coin that has pumped. It doesn't mean to trade it. It just means, just observing something like this is, it could be fun. You don't want to enter into things that you're observing and are extremely volatile if you do not have experience with risk tolerance or any of those things. But yeah, we have a lot of resistance here around this 26 level and all the way up to around this 27 level. Could be a possible sign for a reversal, and we want to make sure to be careful if you guys aren't doing that. Let's go back to Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin, yep, kind of had this little dip here. This 5 minutes ago, yeah. Look at, we used the VWAP right here. Even when we started to stream, dip. This is not too much price though. It's a short little dip, but yeah, we kind of did break that trend right there. If you guys can see that, we did break through some sort of trends. What happened? We took liquidity out. Oops. We took liquidity out from this zone down here. Box ready. Just to show you guys how this works. All right, we'll zoom it in a little bit. But we took some liquidity, out of this zone. I guess we can say it right here, a little bit higher. But we still could, these are the zones that you guys are looking to get when we have that first kind of bullish push to the upside. Is where these whales, these banks, these institutions, that's where they put their orders in. Because when you see volatile movement like that in the books, in price, it can't be no one else but the whale. And the whales are just people that, have a little bit more capital than you do, and they have, a lot better opportunity to move the market. But yeah, I would say Bitcoin might tap back. Might tap back up into this little zone up here. We do have, some selling pressure did decrease. We'll have to see. I'm gonna go back to AX. Loaded yet? A lot of volatility here, but yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing. Buy level at 22 on AXS. Very, very careful with this one, though, guys. Very, very careful. We'll get through some of your questions, and then we'll kind of wrap things up here. But yeah, like we said with Bitcoin, be careful for head and shoulders. We see, what are head and shoulders patterns, right? So what does the neckline look like? Well, we actually have a uptrend on a neckline, which is not a good sign. Here's a little bit of an uptrend. We can draw it because we can draw it a little, we can make it fit our wants. because that's how chart patterns work, right? You make them fit, and if they don't work out, that's not how it works. But if we had a wicks on it, it would actually, let's go show you guys, it would line up a little bit more. Here with the upwards pattern, you guys never do that, okay? And you're not even supposed to draw them at the wicks. A little bit better. Say right here, this is just where we saw support or resistance pivotal point right here. If we break down through it, probably going to be a nice move to the downside because we're going to be at this pivotal point. If we break through this pivotal point today, expect a nice little retracement to the downside after a retest of the pivotal point. Not before, not after, with an engulfing candle or with a doji candle and then an engulfing candle. And then maybe, a pin bar retest on the pivotal point would be nice to see, right? Be nice to see that. But wouldn't be that large of a move. So, you guys want to play it safe, continue to learn. It's really, really important that, you save your liquidity, you preserve your cash for when when you've learned enough where you're able to get into the position where that, you can be successful consistently, right? Until you can't, why not just put $10 in or $5 in and then, really, really try and grow an account with $5, $10, whatever it might be. But yeah, we have these large pushes up. What happens? Large breakdowns. And how much longer are they going to send this up? Like I said, it's important. It's important that you guys get this through your heads. How emotional were you here? Okay. How emotional? What's different? Okay. How emotional were you here? How emotional were you here? We all were emotional. Let's be honest. Most of us were, right? Even though, we're not emotional here. I was a little bit emotional. Look at this ED. But yeah, you guys remember when people were long in ETC and, they don't set stop losses, their entire balance gets wrecked. Don't want to see that happen. Stop losses are one of the most fundamental rules of literally investing at all. Like, you need to set a stop loss if you're going to trade. It's just part of the game. You're going to have a large loss at some point if you don't. And you need to learn, it's all about understanding, there's people that have been trading for, hundreds, literally the past 50, 100 years. And, the most successful people that have done it and sustained, they've sustained their capital, they preserved their capital, they've made capital. They did it so by risk management. And if you guys aren't going to learn risk management, you're not going to be here very long. As that's the whole point of investing in general is just, make more money from your money. And with risking a lot, you're risking a lot. And it's not going to work out too well in the long run. Oh, geez. Oh, geez, chat. Oh, geez. What the hell's going on? Oh, queuing on. All right. Yeah. I think we got to wrap it up on that note. But yeah. Just be careful. Low volatility for Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin. You guys can see though. Ooh, look at that buying power that we have on the hourly candle. This is buying power that does look like a doji, but at the same time, not too much of a upper wick. If we look at the time, 2:13, so we still have 47 minutes for this to close. But yeah, that is looking pretty cool. As you guys see here, what happened here? How many people got wrecked here? Not get wrecked on a 2% wick fake out. Wait for candles to close if you really want to get an accurate read. This was just whales eating fish. But yeah, nice little candle down. Still looks a little bit bearish here. If we can engulf and finish on the downside, probably going to end up 32,200 level. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the stream. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to great rest of your day. Don't get wrecked.